Hi guys, it's Jess from Honest Fiction and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my Bookish holiday gift guide. Alright guys, so the holidays are quickly approaching, so whether you're a reader yourself or you're looking for the perfect gift for the reader in your life, I have got you covered. So I tried to find a gift for every different type of reader, whether you're an ebook reader, a physical book reader, or like me, an audiobook lover. I tried to find gifts that were kind of catered towards those types of readers, but I also have a ton of different bookish merch, bookish candles, different types of reading equipment and gadgets, and this should be a really fun video. I've never done a video like this before, so it's gonna be a little bit of a learning experience for both of us. But anyway, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. You can also check out my Instagram, Goodreads, and Patreon, all linked down below. With all that out of the way, let's talk about these bookish gifts. Alright guys, so starting off with Bookish Apparel. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I love a good bookish shirt. I wear a different book shirt in pretty much every one of my YouTube videos, honestly because I really don't get a chance to wear them outside of filming, so I really try to take advantage of that. But there are thousands of different small businesses and shops where you can buy bookish apparel. But I do have a few standout favorites. So one of them is My Book Goddess. It is actually where this shirt is from. So if you can't tell by this shirt, they do have more spicy type merchandise, but honestly, their quality is amazing. I've never had any issues with shipping, and they have so many different options. So they have bookish hats, bookish pop sockets, bookish shirts, crew necks, sweaters, everything you can imagine. And they're just one of my favorite businesses. So highly recommend checking them out. I'm no longer a rep, but still really love supporting them. And then another one, surprisingly, is the Bookish Shop. Now, I've always been really leery about ordering from the Bookish Shop because anytime I'd order special editions from them, they would take forever to arrive. Obviously, I am not a rep for the Bookish Shop, and I was just kind of nervous. However, when I went to a Polycon, they were actually a vendor. And while I was there, I bought so many shirts, and they are some of my absolute favorites. I've washed them numerous times, and they have not shrunk. And honestly, if you're looking for fantasy romance, they have a huge selection. You really can't go wrong. And then another tip is to check out Etsy. I saw this on TikTok, and unfortunately, there were multiple people that were kind of giving this advice. I don't know who the original creator was, but if you're buying a gift for a reader that is not yourself, highly recommend going into their library, trying to take some pictures of the book titles, and then throwing that into Etsy and seeing what populates. That's honestly how I decorated my shelves when I first started doing BookTube. I was just trying to find different fandom items. But yeah, so anyway, overall, you can find book shirts pretty much anywhere, but My Book Goddess and the Bookish Shop are definitely great finds. And next up, you cannot go wrong with an e-reader. So this is actually my Kindle Paperwhite. I've had this for the last 4 years, and I absolutely love this thing. So I actually primarily listen to audiobooks, but sometimes I like to follow along with a physical book, and this was just a much more cost-effective option. So instead of buying the physical book, I can just download the ebook right onto this, and I absolutely love it. Now, you don't have to get a Kindle, but if you do, there are different versions. So there's the Kindle Paperwhite, and now I believe there's also a colored version. Now, I have seen very mixed reviews on that, so you'll have to do your research. But overall, there are a ton of different e-readers out there, and they make the perfect gift. Now, if you are an audiobook listener like me, then I highly recommend a very good set of headphones. So I actually use AirPods the majority of the time, but when I'm listening to audiobooks, I prefer my Boise, I think they're called Quiet Comfort. They are a little bit pricey, but oh my gosh, the sound quality is so unbelievably good, and you really can't hear any sort of outside noise. So they are the perfect headphones if you are listening to an audiobook. And if the person you're buying for already owns an e-reader, I highly recommend looking into different Kindle and e-reader accessories. So one that is absolutely perfect is a pop socket that just goes right on the back of the Kindle, and it makes it a little bit easier to hold, and they have different pop sockets for all different sorts of fandoms, so you can really sort of customize it. Then there are a ton of different Kindle holders. There's a Kindle pillow. There's even a Kindle ring that allows you to turn the different pages on your ebook without having to swipe. So you can do it from the couch if you have the holder, let's say, on a table. So there are so many different bookish accessories that you can choose from. And moving on to Bookish Decor. Now, there are a ton of different shops that you can go to, similar to Bookish Apparel, to find different kinds of decor. So I highly recommend just typing whatever fandom you're looking for into Google and seeing what populates. However, there are a few standout gifts I'm actually pulling from my own wish list that I think are just so awesome and would look really cool in an office. So one of them is actually a projector that my husband surprised me with. You don't have to get any specific projector. I'm just going to show you the one that I personally own. But I have been using this projector to project different kinds of bookish ambiance onto my wall as I'm working. And I feel like I am living in a fantasy world. It is so cool and is really up to my work experience. So highly recommend. But I also was recently on Acrylopic's website, and I have purchased different special editions from them before and have always had a great experience. And I see now they actually have portal wall decals that you stick on your wall, and it looks like you're stepping into a fantasy world. And I just think they are the coolest things ever. So I am probably going to be buying one around the holidays. I definitely want to get the Valaris one, but I think they would just be the ultimate gift if you have a super fantasy romance fan. All right, so moving into bookish storage, such as bookshelves and book carts. So this can be kind of tricky. You have to know how much space the person you're buying for has in their home. Now, if they have a lot of space, the Billy bookshelves from IKEA are absolutely amazing. They are floor to ceiling bookshelves. They are really good quality. The only issue is they are almost always out of stock. But if you can get your hands on those and the person you're buying for has the room for them, highly, highly recommend. Now, if the person you're buying for doesn't have a ton of space, I actually received from Fly City Furniture a rotating bookshelf that I really, really love. It does not take up a lot of room because it is vertical and it holds a ton of books. So that is a really good option. Or if you're looking for a book cart, I actually bought mine from Target and it was pretty recently priced. I'm pretty sure it was under $30. I got it on sale and it was really easy to put together. I am not handy at all, so if I was able to put it together, you should be able to. But all of those are really good options. Now, if you're wondering where I got my bookshelves from, I get that asked quite a lot in the comments. They're from all different places. So I have a ton that were made by my dad that are on the other side of the camera. Then this one over here is from Target. The one right behind me is from IKEA, except it actually is supposed to go horizontal. I just flipped it vertically because I thought it looked better. And then this one is from Amazon. Now, the fun fact about the ladder bookshelf is it took my husband and I over 7 hours to put that bookshelf together. So once that bookshelf breaks, it is going to be gone. But other than that, I love all of my bookshelves. I just feel like they all have their own little personalities. But bookshelves or book storage make the perfect gift for a book lover. And next up are book subscriptions or book subscription services. So if you are buying for an audiobook reader, I highly recommend Audible. Now, Audible is an app that you pay $15 a month and you receive a credit, and that credit allows you to purchase any audiobook that you desire that's in their library. And you get to keep that book indefinitely, even if you cancel Audible. So that is one of the benefits. Now, it is a little bit pricey, but Audible also does have sales not super frequently. They're actually having a sale as I'm filming this video that is really, really good. Most of the books are 50 to 80% off. So that is the perfect subscription for an audiobook listener. Now, if you're looking for more special edition type book subscription boxes, the only issue is you will probably have to go on a wait list. There's a lot of different special edition book boxes out there, depending on if you want fantasy romance, dark romance, all of the different types. Now, I will talk about some of my favorites, but unfortunately, every single one has a wait list. So my absolute favorite at the moment is Arcane Society. That is a fantasy romance book subscription service. They do special editions of fantasy romance books. They are some of the prettiest books I own. Highly recommend. Also, Mystic Box, I believe, is owned by the same company. Similar vibe, except dark romance. Then I also subscribe to Hello Lovely, which is just romance. And it's probably one of the cheaper of the book boxes. You don't get a lot besides just the book, but they have switched over from paperbacks to hardbacks, which was a massive upgrade. And then there's also Fairy Loot. I am subscribed to all 3 different Fairy Loot boxes: YA Fairy Loot, Adult Fairy Loot, and Romantasy Fairy Loot. All of them give you a book every month, and they kind of change in price depending on which one you are subscribed to. And then if you're looking for a book box that does not require a wait list, you have Book of the Month. Now, Book of the Month does have a pretty good selection, and I'm pretty sure you can buy like yearly subscriptions, so that would be an amazing gift for a reader. And they have a ton of different genres, like historical fiction, thrillers, fantasy, romance, YA. They really have a little bit of everything. And last up, before we get into the last section, I wanted to share 2 of my favorite bookish gifts that I've received. So one of them is an embosser that allows me to personalize all the books in my library. So it actually has the Valaris Mountains, and then it says Property of Honest Fiction, and I'm able to press it into every single one of my books, and I love it so much. You can also get a stamp version that does the same thing. I believe my husband purchased mine on Etsy. They have a ton of different versions, and I feel like that is such a unique and like perfect bookish gift. And the other one is actually a bookmark, and I am typically not someone who uses bookmarks. I dog ear almost all of the pages of my books. However, now that I have a few more special editions, I try not to damage them in any way. And my stepmom purchased me a Tiffany bookmark. Honestly, I didn't know what it was when I opened it. It's a very interesting shape, but it is my favorite bookmark of all time. It is one of my most treasured possessions. So that is something else you can look into. Now, obviously, that is quite pricey, but it is very unique. So something worth checking out. And finally, books are the perfect gift for the reader in your life. Now, if you were buying a book for someone other than yourself and you're unsure what book you should buy, you should see if the reader has either a Storygraph or a Goodreads or some other bookish reading platform. On these platforms, there is typically a TBR shelf or to be read shelf, which is literally a list of all of the books this person would like to pick up in the future. So you take that list, you head over to Barnes & Noble or Amazon or your local bookstore, and you purchase those books. Perfect gift. Now, if you really want to step it up a notch, you can do blind date with a book, where you then wrap those books normally in like brown construction paper, and you write a little blurb on every book, and then that person gets to open those books at their leisure, and it kind of makes like every day a holiday whenever they get to open it. So I have been sending my husband those blind date with a book TikToks for the last like 3 weeks. Let's see if he gets the hint, because I just think it is the cutest idea ever. So that is a really good bookish idea. Now, you can also go to certain author websites and buy books that are actually signed by said author, and some authors will even personalize them for you. I know when I was completely obsessed, I still am, with the Stay With Me series by Nicole Fiorina, my stepmom actually surprised me with a set of the books all signed and personalized by Nicole Fiorina, and I lost my mind. So that is another absolutely amazing gift. Alright guys, that is it for my ultimate bookish holiday gift guide. Please let me know down in the comments below, what is the best bookish gift you've ever received? And I'd like to say a special thank you to my Paladin protectors, Amanda, Leslie, Kat, Erin, Lotta, and Jess. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. And I said this already, I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye!